Good evening, folks. Okay, well, didn't really plan on doing a video on this, but since I just totally nerded out on all this stuff, I thought I would go ahead and share it because it's kind of interesting stuff. So, my clock on my 78 Camaro, I mean, obviously doesn't work like most everybody else's clock. As you can see, I've been taking everything apart. But anyways, I actually got it to start moving when I took it apart. I figured what was the harm because it was already damaged anyways. So, in order to get this thing apart, you just have to pull the hands off, which they just pull straight up. Here they are here. We can get that. So they just pull straight off of there. Your second hand is the first one, and literally it just pulls straight out. You got to be very careful with it because it'll bend, but it will come out. And then there are these little black tabs. See if I can, this is kind of hard to do with one hand, but I'll do my best here. So this little tab right here, there's 3 of those. Those bend inward, and that's what holds the face on. Let me take this off and I'll show you a little bit better. So those little tabs right there, they slide through these, they slide through these slots, and then you literally just bend them towards the base, and that holds the face on. So once you get all that taken apart and you get the face off, then you have these tabs right here that my finger's on. Those tabs, there's 3 of them right there. Those tabs bend inward to hold this whole mechanical unit into the base. So once you undo those, it frees up your clock mechanics, your movements, I guess is what they call them. So I put a little gun oil in mine. I got it to start actually turning, and I got it moving. So this little pendulum right here is what moves. That is what drives everything. So that's what drives all of these other gears, is that one. Now, the best I can understand is, I think maybe the reason why these stop working is because if you flip it over, there's a red gear right here, and that is on a spring. You see me rolling it there? So that resets to there. Now, when that's all the way back, you can see, if my phone will focus, gosh darn it, you can see when I flick that little movement, that causes all the gears to move. And they continue to move and continue to work until this red gear comes back to this point right here where my finger's at. And then there's an opposing point right there in front of the tip of my finger. See that? And then that one. Right there. So, once those 2 points connect, with your power here and your ground going to this thing, I'm assuming that it's supposed to, fire it. And when it fires it, it shoots that lightweight spring back and it rolls it back, and that's what continues the movement. Because whenever it gets to that point, and those 2 electrodes touch each other, it won't turn anymore. It stops moving. You can see it's moving right now. It's going on its own. But once that guy rolls all the way over and touches this guy, it's not going to go anymore. So I think, and I'm probably totally wrong, but I think that those kind of act like points on a distributor, on an old distributor. And I'm thinking if I can sand these down a little bit, just like you do old points, and get a better connection between the two of those when it's got 12 volts to it, it'll spark and it'll roll that sucker around, and maybe the clock will continue to keep working. I don't know. You can see it spinning. See above my thumb? So every time this wheel right here is loaded up and spun around, it goes. And then when it hits this point, it's stopping, and that's what stops the clock. So something happens between those 2 points. They fire, and it rolls this red spring back, or this red gear with the spring on it, back around and resets. And you can kind of see in there, mine's got some goop on it. I mean, it's a little junked up. So I don't know. It's worth a shot. I'm gonna give it a try and see what happens. And in the meantime, I was taking this apart because like I said in the previous video, all my mounting tabs are all busted. So I've got everything out. The gauges look really good. Man, those are mint. My printed circuit, it's got a couple little areas that I'm going to try to clean. Hopefully it'll work out. I went ahead and changed all my instrument light bulbs, though. That's must do when you take all this crap apart. You must change those. So anyways, I've just been cleaning up stuff, trying to clean up some of this plastic. It's all scratched up too, so I'm probably going to try to wet sand on it, maybe give it some plastic polish. I don't know. See what happens. Hopefully I can restore it. But thought I'd make a quick little video about the instrument clock. Maybe it helps somebody. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. It might just be totally worthless information, but hey, whatever. I thought it was kind of cool. Thought I'd share it.